In a sleek, minimalist mansion decorated with crystals and overpriced candles, Gwyneth Paltrow is likely lounging with her moon water, finding amusement in Meghan Markle's latest podcast disaster. Let's not kid ourselves. If there were a trophy for cringe, Meghan would be standing on the podium, proudly holding it aloft. Her recent podcast episode released on Emma Grede's channel managed to pull in 82,000 views in just 24 hours. Impressive, right? Well, not so fast. A deeper dive reveals a troubling story: 4,000 likes overshadowed by a staggering 10,000 dislikes, coupled with a mind-blowing 7,000 comments, most of which are furious rants from viewers who clearly had enough. Now, let's juxtapose that with Gwyneth's podcast episode, which wrangled 90,000 views over an entire month, and did so with far less drama. Just 47 dislikes and a modest 167 comments that are, for the most part, calm and civilized. It's a stark contrast, and honestly, not exactly a win for Meghan. So, what happened to her supposed journey of finding her voice? It seems she found it only to make everyone wish she'd lose it again. The uncomfortable truth is that she simply isn't a good conversationalist. Listening to her feels like being subjected to a monologue she memorized the night before, lacking any real spontaneity or engagement. And let's be real, when even other celebrities who are famous for just being famous radiate more charisma, you know something is amiss. Emma Grede looked like a hostage during that interview, arms crossed, eyes deadened, probably mentally counting down the seconds until she could escape. Meanwhile, Meghan was blinking like a malfunctioning robot, interrupting Emma, throwing passive-aggressive tantrums whenever Emma dared to compliment Serena Williams, and pushing out sob stories that nobody asked for. Let's not ignore Meghan's inflated sense of self-importance. She casually drops that she's out there rescuing women from trafficking because of her choice in jeans and boasts about supporting women-owned businesses while draped head to toe in Ralph Lauren. It's performative, bordering on cringeworthy, like a Pinterest board come to life, but without the charm. It's a spectacle that screams, "Please stop." And then there's the comments section, a digital bloodbath. People aren't just clicking dislike, they're unleashing their pent-up frustrations, and it's brutal. Gwyneth's comment ratio looks like a polite dinner party in comparison to Meghan's chaotic YouTube war zone. This isn't merely about race or personal bias, it's about how the audience perceives these two women. Same host, same show, same audience, yet Paltrow walks away mostly unscathed. The reality is, Gwyneth is also ridiculous, but at least she leans into it. She knows she's out of touch and plays into that absurdity with an admirable sense of self-deprecating humor. Plus, she has a track record of being in successful films. Meghan, on the other hand, appears to be stuck in denial, incapable of laughing at herself or recognizing her shortcomings. Let's cut through the fluff. Meghan's PR efforts are dead on arrival. This latest rebranding attempt, dubbed number 5782, looks just as lifeless as all the previous ones. Even her defenders are starting to show signs of fatigue. Sure, you can delete unflattering comments, but that like-to-dislike ratio speaks volumes. At the end of the day, Meghan likely doesn't care if she's hated, as long as she's being talked about. For her, attention is oxygen, and silence is the ultimate nightmare. However, if this trend of negativity continues to spiral, silence might become her reality sooner than she thinks. Meanwhile, Gwyneth is probably floating in a luxurious bath of organic goat milk, whispering to herself, "At least I'm not Meghan." Markle's podcast Crash and Burn serves as the latest proof that the public has collectively moved on. Maybe it's time for her to do the same, to step back and reassess what she really wants from her public persona. In an era where authenticity and relatability reign supreme, Meghan's brand of performative activism and self-aggrandizement is starting to wear thin. The public is not just looking for celebrities to entertain them, they want to connect with someone who feels genuine and relatable. Meghan's attempts to curate a narrative that portrays her as a savior and role model ring hollow when juxtaposed with her lavish lifestyle and the disconnect between her words and actions. As the backlash continues to grow, one can't help but wonder whether Meghan will take a step back to reevaluate her approach or double down on her current strategy, which appears increasingly unsustainable. The willingness to engage in real conversation, to be vulnerable, and to show authenticity is what audiences crave. Yet, Meghan seems to consistently miss the mark, leading to more disappointment and disillusionment among her followers. In the end, Gwyneth may be sipping her moon water with a smirk, but she has also managed to navigate the treacherous waters of celebrity culture with a degree of self-awareness that Meghan seems to lack. Perhaps it's time for Meghan to learn from Gwyneth's example, to embrace the absurdity of her situation, and to find a way to reconnect with her audience on a more genuine level. If not, the public may continue to tune out, leaving her to ponder her next move in an increasingly unforgiving spotlight.